early 90s, Valerie, there was a revelation for me. Several people that meant a lot to me passed away, and they passed away. The reason they died primarily was due to the environmental issues, primarily products that they were using that really triggered off a mechanism with cancer, whether it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, as in the case of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, which you've known so much about and we've discussed with hair color dyes. The doctors attributed her non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer due to the dye that she used for so many years that people like myself applied.
That's right.
My own mom, who died due to multiple myeloma, and she worked in an environment there was a lot of chemicals. In fact, my industry, the hairstyling industry, has 5 times a higher rate of getting multiple myeloma, which is a form of bone cancer, than the average person. Why? Because we are surrounded using constantly products that are absorbing in our hands through our skin, breathing it and touching it, that are affecting our health and our immune system.
You know, Peter, I heard one study recently that said that 76% of cancer in this country is being caused from the chemicals that people are using on and taking into their body.
I had just had cataract surgery October 8th at UCLA Jules Stein Institute, the best eye hospital in the country for eye surgery. And I had a very fine surgeon, and he said, when he found out who I was and what I did, he says, you need to know something, Peter. And this is something that is among all my colleagues we've been discussing. We are seeing cataract operations being performed now on 30, 35, and 40-year-olds, which is very unusual. There's a very young age. And we think, and we really truly believe, that they don't just think about it. They have attributed a lot of this to the shampoo that we are using. And rinsing and getting into our eyes. Even though you keep them close, it does seep in. And when I heard that, I said, oh, my God, this is something that I really... It's what I've been writing about in my book. The misconception today in the beauty industry, especially the personal care industry, that so many of us are so concerned with what we put into our bodies with food and supplements, but we're not as concerned as what we put on our bodies. And if you realize that it's... Most shampoos, 90% of the shampoos you buy today contain almost the same ingredients as your dishwashing liquid detergents. And then people come to me and say, my hair is brittle, it's dry, it's breaking, I need help. And I'm saying, most of this is due to the products that you're putting on your hair that are not really honest in giving you healthy, quality hair and skin.
I know people are people, but when you have mega stars like Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, Elizabeth Taylor, I mean, and they walk in and sit down. Does your hands shake?
Years back it did, not any longer. But at the beginning, yes, you couldn't help it. I mean, I'm human like everyone else, and I do get impressed by these people's achievements and accomplishments. And it was a thrill for me to be in their presence. Now imagine me touching them, which is so important to their image and
saying,
what they expect.
Would you turn your head?
Yes. And also, best of all, trying to make them look attractive the way they feel they need to be.
Do they come in without
about what you mentioned with Jackie Kennedy. So that was my first experience in the U.S. watching President Kennedy's inauguration.
Really?
I was so thrilled to be in this country and viewing on TV this incredible man and his beautiful wife, never dreaming many years later I was going to have a professional relationship with. What happens is hair stores chemicals in your hair, and you don't get rid of them because you wash them out or you rinse them out with water. So the more you use products today, any shampoo line that you have in the beauty salons or in the general food stores contain sodium lauryl sulfate, ammonium lauryl sulfate, propylene glycol, DEA, TEAs. These are all harsh petroleum-based chemicals in most cases. They store in your hair. So now, why they came out with clarifying shampoos was to get rid of the buildup of these, I believe, harmful chemicals that can store in your hair and eventually back up into your system. And I don't want that anymore. One of the most unattractive women, and I don't like to use that word loosely, that I've ever met was the head of Vogue magazine for over a decade, Diana Vreeland. She was not blessed with what you call beauty, but she had style. She had a certain way that she felt about herself, as a certain security.
Right.
And she was well groomed. I love that word to be used in beauty, grooming. It isn't about how much makeup or how much you can do with your hair. It's how well groomed you are.
I agree.
Cleanliness, good healthy skin begins there, because if you have good healthy skin, you need less makeup. You don't need to cover up imperfections.
Right.
And then having a good, decent haircut, combing your hair, waking up in the morning and, you know, brushing your teeth, bathing, blowing your hair out, putting a little bit of lipstick, maybe that's all you need.
Right.
You have spent your whole life helping people look beautiful.
Helping people look beautiful and understanding the power of beauty that comes from within, not just what you do with makeup and hair and styling, but how you feel inside. I've always said beauty's not only in the eye of the beholder, but it's in the eye of the possessor, because what really makes you attractive to others is the projection of your self-esteem.
That's good. That's really good
It
stuff.
begins there.